We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello friends, in today's session we are going to study about an entire process, and this process is the manufacturing process of Portland cement. We know that Portland cement is one of the most important engineering material. It is the cement which is used for the construction of building, bridges, roads and many other things. For the all civil construction, cement is most important material that we know. Out of all the cement, Portland cement is extremely important, and in today's session we are going to study about an entire process for the manufacturing of Portland cement. So first we discuss the raw material used in the production of Portland cement. There are main 4 raw materials for the production of cement. Number 1 is calcareous material, which consists of limestone. Second is argillaceous material, which consists of clay. Third one is powdered coal and fuel oil, which is used for the burning of calcareous material and argillaceous material inside the rotary kiln. Fourth raw material is gypsum. We know that the small quantity of gypsum is added during the final grinding. The reason is that cement does not set very quickly when it comes in contact with water. That is why we are adding gypsum. The small quantity of gypsum is required for retarding the rate of setting of cement. So this is all about raw materials which is used for the production of Portland cement. Now this manufacturing process of Portland cement has different parts in it. It is carried out in different steps. The first step is the mixing of raw material. Second is burning of raw material. Third is grinding, and fourth is packing. So this is all about the production step involved during the production of Portland cement. So first we discuss the first production step, mixing of raw materials. We know that it can be done either by dry process or wet process. We know that the first and most important raw material is limestone for any cement. So that is why we are taking the 2 raw materials, the main raw materials. One is calcareous material and another is argillaceous material. If we discuss about the dry process, so you have to first take the raw material as calcareous materials and argillaceous materials. First crushed into roughly 2 to 5 centimeter in size piece, because we know that calcareous materials is available in big rock. So first we have to convert into the small pieces by crushing process. Then after, raw materials are ground to fine powder in ball mill. Each separate powder ingredient is stored in the separate hopper. Means calcareous powder is stored in the silol bags, and argillaceous clay material is stored in the storage bins. So each separate powder ingredient is stored in the separate hopper, and then powdered materials are mixed in required proportion to get dry raw mix, which is stored in the storage bin and kept ready to be fed in the rotary kiln. So this is all about dry process. In this process we are taking the two types of raw material. First it is converted into the small pieces by crushing, and then after into fine powder by grinding. Both the raw materials are kept in a separate hopper. As per the requirement, both the raw materials are mixed with each other and make a dry raw mix, which is stored in the storage bin and kept ready to be fed in the rotary kiln. Now, second is the wet process. As we discussed before, calcareous materials is first crushed, then powdered, and then stored into the tank that is called silol. Means calcareous materials is stored in the silol bags and argillaceous material is stored in the basin. Then after, powdered limestone from the silol bag and washed wet clay from the basin are allowed to take in the slurry tank in a right proportion. This slurry contain about 38 to 40% water, which is stored in the storage tank and kept ready to be fed in the rotary kiln. Now another operation is the burning operation, which is most important for the production of Portland cement. Burning is usually done in the rotary kiln, which is a steel tube lined inside with the refractory bricks. Now question is, what do you mean by refractory bricks? We know that refractory bricks are the refractory material. Now the another question is, what do you mean by refractory material? So refractory material is such material which can withstand high temperature without any deformation. Which can withstand high temperature without deformation. मतलब કે રિફ્રેક્ટરી મટીરિયલને ગમે એટલા ઊંચા તાપમાને ગરમ કરીએ તો એના શેપની અંદર કોઈ પણ પ્રકારનો ફેરફાર નહીં થાય, ડિફોર્મેશન નહીં થાય. તો that is called refractory material. The another most important properties of the refractory material is it do not show it shows the resistance towards the any chemical reactions. Any chemical reactions means refractory bricks do not react with clay and do not react with calcareous material during the burning process. So this is the most important key features of the refractory bricks. If we have a steel tube which is lined inside with the refractory bricks, which is essential for this process. Burning is usually done in the rotary kiln, which is a steel tube about 2.5 to 3 meter in dia and 90 to 20 meter in length. So this is the simple construction of rotary kiln. Kiln is capable of rotating 1 rpm about its longitudinal axis. Burning fuel and air is injected at the lower end of the rotary kiln. Hot flame is produced which heats up the kiln up to maximum temperature of about 1750 degrees Celsius. 1750 degrees Celsius is the maximum temperature of the rotary kiln. Now I would like to explain the process during the burning. This is the schematic diagram of rotary kiln. Now what is process? The first step of this process is raw mix or slurry is injected into the kiln at its upper end, while hot flame is produced into the kiln from the lower end. In short, slurry is injected into the kiln from the upper end of the rotary kiln, while the hot flame is produced into the kiln from the lower end. Due to slope and slow rotation of kiln, material moves continuously towards the hottest end at the speed of about 15 meter per hour. Due to the slope and slow rotation of kiln, aluminates and silicates of calcium fuse together to form a small hard grey stone, which is called as clinker. These clinkers are very hot in appearance and fall in the another rotary kiln, and cool air is admitted from the opposite direction, so that cool air is come in contact with the hot clinkers. Due to this, cool air becomes hot air due to the heat transfer concept, and the hot clinkers becomes cool. Now this hot air is used for the burning of powdered coal or fuel oil. Cool clinkers are collected in the small trolley. Now I would like to explain the chemistry takes place during the second step, during the burning step. So I would like to show you the chemistry in three stage, in a three zone: drying zone, calcination zone, and clinkering zone. Drying zone is the upper part of the kiln, where the temperature is around 400 degrees Celsius. Most of the water in the slurry gets evaporated at this zone. The temperature of the drying zone is only 400 degrees Celsius, and at this temperature only the water gets evaporated from the slurry, and we know that the slurry contains 38 to 40% of water, so that can be removed by drying zone. Now second step is the calcination zone. Second zone is the calcination zone. The calcination zone is the central part of the kiln, where the temperature is around 1000 degrees Celsius. Limestone of dry mix or slurry undergoes decomposition to form quicklime and carbon dioxide. Means during this zone, calcium carbonate is decomposed into quicklime and carbon dioxide gas. Because the temperature of this zone is around 1000 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, limestone is completely decomposed into quicklime and carbon dioxide gas. Now last zone is, which is the hottest zone of the rotary kiln, is called as clinkering zone. It is the lower part of the kiln, where the temperature is around 1500 to 1700 degrees Celsius. Here the argillaceous material and calcareous materials undergo chemical interaction and produce the calcium aluminates and silicate. I would like to show you the chemical reaction takes place at the clinkering zone. Means calcium oxide, means quicklime is reacts with silica to form dicalcium silicate, tricalcium silicate. Quicklime reacts with alumina to form tricalcium aluminate. Quicklime reacts with alumina and iron oxide to form tetracalcium aluminoferrate. So here the tetracalcium aluminoferrate is it's the manufacturing of hot clinkers called Portland cement in form of hot clinker. Now these aluminates and silicates of calcium fuse together to form a small hard grey stone called as clinker. As we discussed before, clinkers are very hot, fall in the another small rotary kiln provided at the base of the rotary kiln. In this, cool air is admitted from the opposite direction, air blasts the cool clinkers, and finally hot air is used for burning coal or fuel oil. Now third production step is the grinding step, in which the cool clinkers are ground to fine powder in ball mill or tube mills. During the final grinding, the small quantity of powder gypsum is added so that the resulting cement does not set very quickly when it comes in contact with water. So this is all about the grinding. And last but not the least, this is the most important step for the production of manufacturing of cement, that is the packing. The ground cement is stored in the silol before being dispatched either in bulk or in bags to the final destinations. So all the 4 production steps already we have discussed. The first step is the mixing of raw materials, that can be done either by dry process or wet process. Number 2 is the burning of raw materials, burning of calcareous material and burning of argillaceous material inside the rotary kiln, which is lined with the refractory bricks. Rotary kiln is simply categorized in 3 zones. First zone is the drying zone, where the temperature is about 400 degrees Celsius. Only the water gets evaporated at this zone. Number 2 is the calcination zone, where the temperature is about 1000 degrees Celsius. Means here the decomposition reaction takes place and limestone is converted into quicklime and carbon dioxide. Now this quicklime is go to the clinkering zone, where the temperature is about 1500 to 1700 degrees Celsius, where the quicklime reacts with silica, quicklime reacts with alumina and quicklime reacts with iron oxide to form dicalcium silicate, tricalcium silicate, dicalcium aluminate, tricalcium aluminate and tetracalcium aluminoferrate. So this is the second step. Third step is the grinding step, where the hot clinker is ground to fine powder in a ball mill or tube mill. And fourth step is the packing. The ground cement is stored in the silol before being dispatched either in bulk or in bag to the final destinations. Thank you.